Most brands have zero personality. They are like zebras without stripes, basically donkeys. In this video, I'm gonna break down what a personal brand actually is and how you can get one. So watch this video if you are building a brand or you're thinking about building a brand. Let's dive right into it. You've probably come across it anywhere on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Everyone and their mama are talking about a personal brand, but a lot of people do not know what a personal brand actually is. So today for you, I will break it down as simple as I can so that you can understand it. And if you're building, you can build one that is very, very strong. Personal brand has two words, personal and brand. What does personal mean? Personal means what is unique to you, your personality, your person. That is basically who you are. So personal, we can replace with person. We can replace with you. Got it? All right. Then what is brand? Brand originated as a Nordic term, and it means to show ownership of. It's actually written brand with a T, because back in the days, they used to brand cattle just to show their ownership. Even in certain states, and I'm not saying this is good, they still brand cattle. They'll put the hot iron on the cow. So it's just showing ownership not to be stolen. Now we have two words, brand, which is ownership, and you, basically, yourself. When we put these two words together, it's ownership of you. So personal brand is ownership of you, you taking ownership of yourself. Then the next question is, do you have a personal brand, yes or no? Actually, you don't have to do anything to have a personal brand. You have it automatically. A personal brand is your reputation, what others see, what they say about you. So you can go and ask your friends, what do you think about me? And some might say, hey, we like you, you're sweet. Some might say, you're very annoying. That is a personality trait. That is your personal brand. That's how people see you. So when we say personal brand, people often think it has to do with a logo or colors or typography, your branding for a business. But a personal brand, you have it regardless. Whether you like it or not, you have a personal brand. Even if you're not, you have nothing to do with an entrepreneurship, you have nothing to do with whatever, you have a personal brand. So there you go, you have a personal brand. Everyone on LinkedIn is talking about, I'll build you a personal brand, or I'll do this for you, do that for you, in regards to personal branding. But you already have one. What do they mean? They basically mean that they will create a brand for you that is intentional, building an intentional brand for your company, for a product, for a service. This is intentional. So if we think about personal branding, we need to be intentional about it. We need to be intentional about that reputation, because it's no longer you. You are basically becoming a business. Your image is becoming a business. Okay, so among friends who don't like you, that's one thing. But when you become a business, whatever you do can be in positive or harm for the company. So how do you build a personal brand? First of all, make sure that it's intentional. How do you make it intentional? You start out with positioning. So the first step, the first thing to do is making sure that you are positioned. And in previous videos, we've been talking about positioning. If you haven't seen them, go back and watch them. After this one, I'll put it right here. Positioning is how you are perceived in the minds of others. That is positioning. How do others see you? That's it. So when we think about personal brand, we need to be intentional how we want to be positioned. Let me give you an example of myself. I want to be positioned as someone who is known as a thought leader for positioning, ironically. So I want to be positioned as your go-to guy when we're talking about positioning. And that is why I'm always teaching you about positioning, because I want to be known for that. Now ask yourself, what is your positioning and how can you define that? There are three things that you need to ask yourself. Question number one is, who am I now? Question number two, what do I want to be known for? Question number three, what does it take to get there? And I'll break down these three questions, answering them for you so that you can understand how to do it yourself. Right now, I'm a brand strategist. With 15 years of experience, I've helped 100 plus founders, built over 300 brands, mentored creatives, coached. That's me right now. In the future, I want to be known as your go-to guy when it comes to positioning. I want to be known as a thought leader for positioning. Number 3, what does it take to get there? It takes me having an opinion, sharing my opinion, sharing my knowledge to the world, and having a very, very strong perspective on the topic of positioning. In order to do that, I have to be known. I need to write books, I need to speak on stage, I need to go on podcasts. So all these things I need to do in order to achieve my goal. Got it? So this is the way to intentionally build your personal brand. If you don't do this, you do have a personal brand, but it's not intentional. It's just a brand and you cannot influence it. You just live and you just let it be. In order to have a strong brand, you need to intentionally think about this brand. Intentionally direct this brand. Like a tree growing, you need to have it grow straight. I will always say that starts with the foundation: positioning, positioning, positioning. When you answer these questions, do not forget you. If you are missing from this whole thing, it is not personal. In order to have the you element in it, I use the NICE strategy. Feel free to check out the previous videos to understand that part. So yeah, let's talk about my favorite personal brands and strong personal brands that I see today, and actually everywhere. Number 1 is Gary Vee. Gary Vee, you are a dog if you're watching this. Gary Vee is everywhere. And the funny thing about, and I have to laugh because the funny thing about Gary is that he has no care whatsoever for design. He has no care whatsoever for one. Designers always say have one clear identity and, one color, one this. Gary Vee is all over the place. So today I was scrolling through LinkedIn and I came to one of his posts, and I think he's doing this one a lot, but then he has like 2 boots or 2 shovels. One boot is very dirty or a shovel is very dirty, and he's like, these are doers and these are talkers, so you have like those two worlds of one is doing it, one is talking. And it's a visual image, we get that immediately, but Gary's identity, his branding is all over the place. This is someone who does not brand. That branding element, it's completely missing, but that chaotic branding, it's like he owns that space. If it's chaotic, you can just scroll. Like I scroll and I kid you not, I don't even have to look at his little signature in the bottom. I just see the way it's, the way it's designed, and I'm like, oh, that's Gary. He has that ownership, and I'm gonna name it today. It's a chaotic branding. He owns the chaotic branding space. There is no structure whatsoever. It's just very chaotic. He takes elements from everywhere. He can write on like a handkerchief a quote and put his little signature under it, and that's Gary Vee. That's his branding. The thing about his brand, his personality is there 100%. Whether he's talking about cards, whether he's talking about garage sale, whether he's talking about football, it doesn't matter what the guy is talking about. Same energy, same loud voice, same standing up, air quotes. It's his personality is in there. If you are thinking about building a brand, definitely check out someone like Gary Vee to see how that you element can be put into that personal brand. Another person that I respect in that personal branding space that has a very, very, very tight personal brand, that's Jesse Itzler. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right. Jesse, if you're watching this, forgive me, bro. But Jesse, you have a great brand. His branding is comparable to Gary Vee's, but slightly different. Like if you put those two together, it's completely different. So you'll see Jesse, and I'll try to plug some pictures up here so you can see what I'm talking about. Jesse's brand is more like his own authentic way. So you can see his handwriting. He has a very distinctive handwriting. Some letters are just like, I've never seen them before. And there's a letter, I believe it's the G, that he writes it's so distinctive, like it's completely his. I've never seen anyone write that letter the same way. And He writes that on pictures. And another thing that Jesse does that Gary does not do, Jesse has like things with his family. So you'll see him in videos, you'll see him with his family. He is like very family oriented. Gary is the same. Gary will talk about his mom, about growing up, his dad, but you won't see him with his children. And that's a distinctive, and that's a personal choice that Jesse made that Gary did not make. And it's so beautiful to see these two brands that they're so similar in some ways, but still very distinct. I know it sounds weird, but that's that. Those are now, right now at this moment, my two favorite personal brands to see and my best examples of building a brand. If you're building a brand, definitely look at Jesse Itzler and Gary Vee. So what if you do not intentionally, see, I said intentionally build a personal brand. If you do not do that, you become generic. Especially with AI nowadays, everything looks the same. All flavors are gray, and ironically, I'm wearing gray, so the joke's on me, I guess, but they all look the same. Everything is the same. If you do not build an intentional, distinct brand, you'll be lost in the masses. You'll look like everyone else, talk like everyone else, be like everyone else, and the result will be like everyone else. And that is the reason why I say most brands have no personality. They're all like zebras without the stripes. They're basically donkeys. And with that, I'm going to end today's video. I'm KJ, this is The Brand Diary, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.